Gang, gang, it is Jay here, your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist, and it is my life's purpose to help Black people navigate this patriarchal system of white supremacy. What's up, y'all? Uh, it's a lot going on in the world today. It is October 8th as I record this. You'll probably see this probably a couple weeks later. Because I got content on content and I've been scheduling it out. So I have been at least consistent on the YouTube. You might not see me everywhere else right now, but I am definitely making my long form videos and I got a lot to say. That's why I'm not doing the short form right now. Prayerfully, something hits and the subscribers keep rolling in. It's a very slow journey here as a content creator on YouTube. But I'm doing what I can. This is the only platform I've been using the past month. And I've been taking a break because I'm trying to get my book done. Um, some things have not worked out the way I wanted to as far as my timeline, right? I've been having to push things back, which is very inconvenient, but it's still gonna get done, so it's not the end of the world. Might even be better that it is pushed back, right? Because things happen for a reason, and sometimes it's just for you to be better prepared for when it arrives. But when it comes to what's going on in this world, y'all, we are still in a government shutdown. Hopefully, by the time I post this, it will be done. I'm pretty sure it would be. It's no way a government shutdown can go on this that long. Because again, I'm probably gonna post this 2 weeks from today. Um, but it's really it's been a week. I'm sorry, it's an ad in here. But it's been a week. It's been a week. Still in the shutdown. These motherfuckers don't know how to use the money. And Trump is mad at everybody. Okay, he's going in on Fox News. Those are his people, ain't it? Um, you got this whole the whole backlash and stuff with this Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, JT and Cardi B, JT, Saucy Santana, motherfucking Glorilla going on stage with Chris Brown and doing that. Chris Brown don't really fuck with Megan Thee Stallion, and it's just a lot. And I'm tired of celebrities because what celebrities highlight is the facts that a lot of people act like celebrities, but celebrities just have money and fame. So we get to see how regular people maneuver with money and fame. Celebrities are regular people maneuvering with money and fame. So a lot of y'all would not do any better than them, right? Sometimes me included, depend. But same token, they are fucking crazy. And I'm tired of them. I'm tired of hearing about them. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So today is not going to be so much about them. But what I wanted to talk about today, is so much. I want to let God use me today to figure out what we're going to talk about. Um, I am, I guess, going to talk about the government and just all these distractions, all of these ploys, all of these attacks. It is as if the American government wants to incite violence out of its citizens, no matter who it's coming from. They want to incite violence from us because they want an excuse to really lock us down, put us under martial law, so that Tramp, that was a Freudian slip, but he is a tramp. But so that Tramp can go ahead and just do whatever the fuck he wants, as if he's not doing that anyway. And this is why I said, and I had come to a very harsh and stark realization that the Democrats, they ain't shit either. And I am pulling my vote. As much as I used to be, hey y'all, we need to vote, we need to vote. My eyes are becoming a little bit more widened, and I'm gonna talk about it in my book that's gonna be released in February, Black History Month. Gonna try to make this book as cheap as I possibly can because I want you Negroes to read it. Okay? Please. This book is going to be revolutionary. Um, ugh, fucking gnats. I hate them. But this government is, they trying us. They're trying us. And they want to see what we made of. And one thing about it, two things for sure, they know that we are not going to unify. They know, especially black people, we find black people have this way of just not giving a fuck about shit until it's really on our doorstep. And then also coming to understand that, hey, this is something they've been doing to us for centuries. So we don't really even try to find a way to control it. We just let things happen. But I don't want that to happen to us. I want us to be a little bit more reactive and proactive than we ever have been in history. Uh, we gotta really take it back to the civil rights days, and it's going to be on our doorstep sooner than we think. These people are sending out motherfucking troops and shit to the ghettos in Chicago and Memphis, and they are testing the market on black people right now. They're trying to see if they could just lock us up and put us in their own little concentration camps for whatever the fuck they want. Uh, I need for y'all to understand. I told y'all, and I said this. I said this months ago. It's gonna be a civil war. Y'all think it's a joke. It is not. It's not a joke. I'm not fear mongering. I don't try to because I don't live in fear. And again, I take everything right now day by day. Even my own life plans have altered just because of the way the world is. Not, they haven't altered significantly. It's just pulled out a side of me that was there that needed to come based on this timing. I always knew that my plight would be to advocate and be an activist for black people. I just never understood how exactly I would do that. And a lot of it is going to be me in these using my voice, verbally, but also in literature. I write, right? Been a writer before I was an orator. So I need for y'all to understand something. We are God's chosen people. They have tried their hardest to get rid of us and they cannot. They don't understand us, but they want to be like us. They want to pander. They want to pilgrimage every fucking thing they can from us. They want to take our very essence and make it their own. I need for y'all to not be afraid, right? But also keep your head on a swivel. Understand what these people are capable of, but also understand what you are capable of. Understand that even if the worst of the worst came to pass, it was necessary and we have to fight through it. Okay? I don't want to say something corny and cliche like God's in control because the truth of the matter is God is in control through us, but we choose whose will we're following. Either we choose to follow his will, her will, their will, or we choosing to follow our own will. And humans want to be divisive. That's our problem. So you know what? I just found it. That's what I want to talk about today. The problem with labels. Okay, I have that right here on the list. Now, that is where I'm going. I think that was what I wanted to talk about anyway, but I found it. Look, I told you, letting God use me. So when it come down to labels, I was thinking about this not too long ago, maybe a few days ago, just how we were doomed as soon as you found out you were conceived, we were pretty much doomed. And let me explain. I know I could take this into a very dark space, very, I want to get you. Damn. As soon as I'm gonna get this and that. But I know I could take that to a very dark space, a very, I guess, pessimistic space. But when I say doomed, I'm not saying that, oh, we were just destined to have this terrible life. But we were doomed, meaning that we were destined to be labeled immediately. And labels do have a downside to them, right? And on one hand, we need labels so we can distinguish things and how things are different. But on the other hand, when people find a difference within a group of individuals, sometimes they tend to make it seem like that difference is wrong or it should be outcasted because it is different or defective because it is different. That's not what we're meant to be doing. Okay? So, soon as your mother found out she was pregnant with you, you were doomed to be labeled immediately. First of all, you were doomed because now you have to deal with the family essentially deciding what they want you to be immediately. Oh, I hope it's a girl. Oh, I hope it's a boy. Oh, I hope it's a girl. I hope you have a girl. Oh, it looked like you carrying a girl, girl. Look at how you laying. Look at how we were already we were already predisposed to it. Okay? That's just a small part of it all. Okay? Just stay with me. Then you get to a certain part wherever you was born, maybe your parents or your mom decided that she didn't want to know what gender you would be. Oh, cool. That's not very it doesn't happen very often nowadays. Most of us are going to find out what gender our child is. So we're going to speak more in terms of what it is modern, not modern, but it still applies across the board. In older times, before they found out the gender, let's just say, hey, as soon as the baby get here, okay, just for a different reference for them. But in modern times, as soon as your mother or your parents found out your gender, you were immediately labeled by that. And there was already some people projecting a certain personality, a certain behavior, a certain expectation onto you simply through the label of you being a boy or a girl. Are y'all following me? Understand this. The moment you are labeled, you are projected upon to have a certain responsibility, a certain characteristic, behavior, trait, just a certain way of being overall that is going to be expected of you, whether you are a boy or a girl. This is why, oh, you find out instantly you have a boy, you start buying all the blue shit. Or a girl, you start buying all the pink shit. You know, just in traditional senses. You start buying the boy toys, you start buying the girl toys. Everything has to be labeled, it has to be separate, has to be divided. You understand? This is why labels are a problem because labels are a form of disunification because it is an emphasis on making sure people know that this thing is what it is and how different it is from everything else. That is the problem with labels. Do I think labels are necessary? Still, they are necessary so we can know what things are, right? Because when you understand things better, you tend to appreciate them better. But we don't really, when it comes to certain things like race, we didn't need a label of race. Because again, race is a social construct. It's very even confusing when you think about it. That's why even in one of my last videos when I was talking about Cardi B and how she just all of a sudden decided that she's Afro Latina. Can we really fight against that being that she is Dominican? And most Dominicans are of African descent. Can't really even fucking fight against it, even though phenotypically she's probably not really that much African. Do y'all see where I'm going? So it's very difficult when we have all these different labels because you start getting confused on how all these things intersect, how they all have these layers. You know what I'm saying? So the most distinguishing label is the one that I told y'all about, whether you're gonna be a boy or a girl. But instantly, despite whatever it is immediately as soon as your parents find out what you are, they have decided your fate. Oh, you're gonna marry a man. Oh, you're gonna marry a woman. Oh, we're gonna have grandchildren. Oh, he's gonna play basketball. Oh, she's gonna do gymnastics. You are projected upon immediately. And sometimes it works out, right? Think about the Venuses and the Serenas. Like their father, what was his name? Richard. He had a plan for them immediately. He knew what they were going to do. Okay. It worked out for them, but luckily it was something that they wanted to do. But what if it wasn't? Right? That would have been a big fight for their entire life. They would have been fighting with their father their entire life, telling him, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a tennis player. Just because you decided as soon as you found out what I was, that you were going to make me a tennis player, does not mean that I want to do that. Do y'all get what I'm going from? Where I'm coming from? You get where I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? So, this is why labels make things difficult, especially when it comes to, like I said, race. The biggest one would be gender. Okay, gender is so fucking confusing to you people. It's so confusing to you people. Um, because gender is closely related to sexuality, and sexuality is already something that is very taboo, something that's very uncomfortable for you guys. So you don't even want to sit down and really discuss how those things intersect. So when you have children or people just in general around you who are gender benders, right? Meaning that you got maybe a woman who's a little androgynous, she's a little more on the masculine side, or best yet, you have a boy, especially if he's black and he's more feminine presenting, it becomes a problem because now you are questioning his sexuality. But what if he's straight and he just likes to be a little girly? Now you're even more confused because you're like, how the fuck does that work? And this is again why labels are disgusting. We don't need to worry about that. We just shouldn't. If we could take away some of the labels that we have forcefully, I mean, I'm sorry, that we have enforced, so that's a forcefully enforced upon each other, right? There will be a little bit more harmony. You don't need to try to understand everything about somebody. And I think that's the biggest part about labels is, I mean, yeah, it's difficult because on one hand, yes, it's okay to want to understand people, and I know some people who want to be understood, but at the same time, if it when it come down to my ethnic background, when it come down to who I'm fucking, is it really that important to you? And in what way? How does that help you? How does that help you navigate a relationship, friendship, whatever with me? I want to know. And I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying and to what extent does it matter? You know, to what extent does it matter? So I think that's what makes it difficult when it comes to labels is because, again, like I said, yeah, they are necessary, but it's like the same question I asked, to what extent does it matter? Why do I have to tell you my sexual orientation, my sexual preference for any reason? To what extent does it matter? Why do I have to tell you my race for any reason? To what extent does it matter? Sure, in this world now we made it matter. So you can, yeah, I want to get this gnat. He flying around my ring light, and then it's like he just keep coming back and forth to all the light. He's staying in the light. I hate that so bad. They be throwing me off. It don't take much to throw me off, but they do. But anyway, so you are overemphasizing, these things. And we've come to make these things matter, but they really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like the major thing we need to be concerned with when it comes to people is, do you have the same kind of values I have? Do we have certain things in common that we can, have good conversations and connections about? Are you going to treat me well? Right? Do we mesh well in general? Are we compatible as friends? Are we compatible as lovers? These are the major things that's important. And that's what the foundation of humanity and life should have been, but we turned into label freaks. Oh, that's a boy, that's a girl. He likes boys, she likes boys, she's gay, he's bisexual. When all of that starts coming up and you start asking people about what they identify as and or what they label themselves as, and it's something that's kind of out the norm, now you want these people to explain something kind of intimate about themselves. Like if I tell you I'm bisexual and you don't understand bisexuality, you think, oh, you just greedy. That's fucked up. Because it's really fucked up to say, number one, about me, because you don't know just because you don't understand it. And then two, I shouldn't even have to explain why I am what I am or how I am the way I am. I just am, bitch. How about that? Do you feel me? So, come on, this that. I want to get him. Then y'all get to see real time the fight, bruh. Ooh, I can't stand that. It's just one, and he just keep flying around the lights. It's fucking with me. But yeah, y'all. So labels are a problem. They are a detriment. We don't really need to overemphasize them. That is the main issue we have. Like again, even and then the last point is the labels of religion. Like I said, the major labels that we fight against is gender, sexual orientation, race, religion. Those are the major labels that we fight each other about because those, like I said, we emphasize those differences, and then we create a hierarchy and we make a way of feeling like one group is more superior than the other. It happens in every label group. Every label group. Even within the groups, it happens because of labels. Because we have to find a way to distinguish things, right? But we make it matter to an extent of placing value upon those differences. We shouldn't. There is no value system to humans. God loves all of us. We were created all the same, right? Granted, we are different in within our creation, but we were created all the same through sex. Y'all hate to say it. Y'all hate when people say it, but it's true. How the fuck ain't it? But all of us got here through sex, nigga. Your parents fucked. Deal with it. So, yeah. Stop labeling everything. I try to when people be like, "Well, what are you? Who are you? What do you want to do?" I don't like labels because when I don't act upon my label, when I act like something different outside of my label, people want to question if I'm really my label. It's like damn, am I being fake? No, I'm not. I'm just going with the motherfucking flow, bitch. Just because I have a label doesn't mean I gotta be locked into that label. It's just like music labels. For real, like I don't have to be locked into that. Why can't I just be? That's why people be saying they be fluid. Oh, just call me fluid. I'm fluid, bitch. I go with the flow. Ho, I'm everything and nothing in between. You figure it out when I figure it out. Well, really, you figure it out after I figure it out. But still, we all trying to figure it out. I'm not one of those people that flex like I just always know what my reactions are going to be, how I'm going to be on this planet. Bitch, I have changed, but the more I change, the more I stay the same. So I don't know in what ways I might go a different route. My opinion might change, my taste might change. So I don't want to be locked into no label. I'm not a in the box type of person. I am a free flowing hippie. Before my grandmother passed away, she called me a hippie, and I was proud of that because she knows I do what I want. Dance the rhythm of my own drum, the beat of my own drum, do what I want. And I don't like labels because I see what they do to us. I see what they do to us. I don't need you to know that I'm a woman. That's why I understand people who are non-binary because it's like I'm whatever. Now what I know, I might be a little ignorant and I take the ignorance. I don't care. What I don't like about non-binary is just the use of the they because that insinuates that you are two genders. You're not two genders, right? You might be genderless, right? But when I think of non-binary, I'm thinking I can call you he or she, and that's fine. Because if you are both genders, right, which mostly is what non-binary means, that means I can call you he or she, and I'm still correct. Calling you they, I just tell me what you want me to call you that day. I don't know. Anyway, it's just a mind thing with me. Like I said, I accept everybody as they are. If you want me to call you they, I'll call you they. But I am gonna struggle. I will admit. I know I'm gonna struggle because I know myself. But yeah. hmm I don't like labels. Yeah. Pronouns are not labels. Pronouns are just pronouns, but we have created pronouns into labels, meaning that, I can't call you he or she without you getting upset if you present something to me that looks like a he, but you identify as a she. Yeah, I'm gonna take the correction and I'm gonna apologize, but yeah, I get what I'm saying. It's very much so confusing. It is a conundrum, but labels can be problematic. And I'm just gonna end at that. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Hello.